Yesterday's video was about a bit of a rant about why hero points in the gem store is a bad thing, and it should remove it from the game. And I thought it was quite obvious why this was the case, and really make a lot of arguments. I just explained the situation. But seeing that there is a lot of people actually arguing with me and disagreeing with what I have to say and that opinion overall, I'm gonna make the argument on why I think hero points are actually pay to win. Guild Wars 2 is an horizontal type of an MMO. It doesn't have it barely has any vertical progression. What you want to do in Guild Wars 2 is you want to collect things. You want to upgrade your characters. Well, mostly your account. You want to get mastery points to get more powers, to get more mobility abilities in the world, to explore it. You want to get achievements. You want to get skins. You want to get mounts. You want to get all this stuff. You want to gold. You want currencies. You want to craft items. You want to get more builds. You want to unlock more elite specs with your hero points. And this is what the game is about. It's not about getting the most powerful item. So it's not really saying that there's something pay to win in Guild Wars 2 is a bit hard, because you don't. In other games, it's a bit easy. You buy the power, you get it's pay to win. But, and I've seen this issue in a lot of the comments, in other MMOs, you don't really have to have an advantage for the game to be pay to win. You don't have to have a game where item you buy is literally better than what you would be able to get by just playing the game. The only thing you have to have is that the item that you're buying could have been gotten in game instead. If you're skipping to progress to get some type of power, some type of progression that matters in the game, you are indeed pay to winning. You are paying to win. You can see this in WoW, for example. Most of the items in WoW, most of the gear that you will use to essentially play the game and beat the gems or whatever, is not really better than any other things that you could be able to get inside of the game. It's just that you can just buy it to skip it and be more powerful than the people and faster and more powerful than the people that didn't do it. They will have to grind more. Lost Ark, I'm pretty sure, doesn't have any actual advantage from the things that you it doesn't have any actual advantage items that are more powerful than the ones you can get in game. It's just that it's so insanely grindy that in order to actually get there, you're gonna have to play a lot, and you can just buy to skip it. In this case, Guild Wars 2, there's not such thing as that. You don't really have vertical progression, but you do have horizontal progression, and those are the things that we as players actually care about: getting masteries, getting all those things. And if you make one of those things buyable in the gem store, you are paying to win. You are paying to progress your character. You are paying to beat the game, because that's what the game cares about. That's what we care about. And I'm always about progression, right? It's about achieving things. And the fact that one of these things is now buyable in the store is, in my opinion, inherently pay to win. Is it really that big of a deal? Is it really that hard to get them anyways in another way? Not really. But the meaning of this progression is gone now because of the fact that you can buy them in the store. Now, I understand what you're gonna say. You're gonna say, well, what about the level 80 boost? What about the waypoint unlock? Well, in my opinion, these things are a bit different. There are actually, in some ways, indeed pay to win. But I kind of accept them, and I think most people do accept them for different reasons. The waypoint unlock, honestly, in my opinion, is not really. It might be a bit of progression, but not really. Like getting hero points, where a waypoint unlocks, just running around them in every one of your characters just to get them so you can teleport around. I don't think anyone likes that. I don't think it's really good. And honestly, I would definitely say that they should just make it accountable instead of selling it in the store. Selling in the store, honestly, is it's, would I say it's predatory? Maybe not, but I would definitely say that it's a bit greedy. You can fix this problem inside of the game, but you choose not to get some money. I accept it. I understand this is a microtransaction game. I get it, but not good. Level 80 booster. This is a thing that has been essentially in every MMO since, I don't know, since World of Warcraft did it in think it was Mist of Pandaria. I think it was Mist of Pandaria. And you can't really get away from it. And why is this? It's because people want to play with their friends. Whenever you invite someone to play Guild Wars 2 with you or any MMO, you want them to come play with you. And if you're level 80, you're not going to be able to play with them as level 1. They're going to be level 1. They're not going to be able to come to you and play the on-game content with you, even if it's something that is very easy, like any meta in HOT or in any other place. You're not going to be able to play with them. In my opinion, this, honestly, in Guild Wars 2, leveling up doesn't really seem like a thing that you should have in the first place. I know it's an MMO, but let's be real, guys. You still have very good incentives to go and actually do the core maps for legendaries, to sell them, for achievements, for jump posts, for a lot of things that you can get in the M4 collections. But the fact of going from level 1 to 2 to 2 to 3, whatever, doesn't really mean anything and is easily skippable and no one cares, right? Now, it is true that hero points are indeed in the boost as well, which I guess would make me look a little bit of like a hypocrite. But as I said, I think it's a very low price to pay for the ability to play with your friends, and I don't think you can really get away from having that in the store. It is also important to say, and I do believe this, that elite specs are very different than core specs. Core specs, you're a warrior. You're always going to be a warrior. It's fine. Elite specs are elite specializations. You're not a warrior anymore. You're a blazer. You're a berserker. And the first time you actually unlock this, it's a very meaningful moment. Sure, it will be very boring the next time you do it, but let's be real. The next time you do it, you're probably going to do it in a, you're going to run in a train, in a hero point train, in a Warver's, you're going to just do Warver's World and use the testimony of heroics. It's not really going to be big of a deal. And if you actually wanted to, if any of the really want to make the argument, well, it's very annoying for people to do that, to collect the hero points, and they shouldn't be forced to do it. If that's the case, if you really think that hero points training, doing this trains or Warver's World or whatever is a bad thing, then why just not delete it? Or giving us another way of actually unlocking them in the first place, like the Wizard's Vault. Why, if you really wanted to do this, why would you just put in the Wizard's Vault, a system that they are heavily incentivizing for us to complete, that is actually kind of fun, some problems, but it is kind of fun. Why wouldn't you just make it so you actually could unlock all the hero points with that, if you really care about the quality of life? No, they're doing it because they want the money. I would even go as far to say that maybe it would be a good idea that the level 80 boost that you buy actually unlocks one elite specialization from your class. That way you have a little bit of a jump start as a new player. But being able to buy each of them with the hero point unlocks, it makes the whole point of unlocking them in the first place meaningless. Even if it's very easy for you to get the hero points in the first place. This is a solution of a problem that doesn't really exist. It's not hard to get hero points. The only reason why they're selling it, they're putting in the gem store, is to make money, not really to solve any problem. This game already doesn't have that many spots of progression. Taking another one and putting in the gem store is not good for the game. It's not good for the veterans, it's not good for the mid players, and it's not good for new players. Imagine being a new player, seeing that you have, this cool little specs, and seeing that you actually can just buy them in the store. It will make it so less interesting for you to actually be invested in the game in the first place. And you're going to have one less point of actual connection with the community of the game. You're not going to really try and get in with other people and talk to them and get into a hero point train. You're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to learn about the game either. And sure, there is the option of going to do POF hero points, which are very easy, but at least you have the little incentive to go and talk to the people with hero point trains. And you're going to see them, and let's be real, guys, this will heavily incentivize. And I know that people say that they're not going to die, the hero point trains are not going to die, but it will heavily incentivize them. I would even accept that you could sell hero points to other players, because that way at least you're incentivizing doing the hero point trains, collecting them, and you're essentially selling your gameplay to other players. But in this case, the gameplay, it just comes out of nowhere. You just buy it from the store. You're skipping the content and no one is actually doing it in the first place. If that is not pay to win, I don't know what is. And that's without even considering how predatory it is for new players that don't know what they're getting into in a few hours of gameplay. They're gonna see that and they're gonna be like, wow, I guess that's the only way of playing, of getting this. Because they don't know about hero trains. They don't know about World versus World, hero points. They don't know about any of this. They're gonna see that and be like, oh, I guess that's the only way I can buy it. Honestly, personally, I don't even care that much about the hero points themselves. If God himself came down to me and said, Darren's, this is the only thing that AreaNet are gonna put in the gemstone from round that actually invalidates gameplay, I will actually say, you know what, it sucks and I hate it, but I guess it's okay. I guess I can accept it. But but we have no certainty of that. It could be perfectly true and likely that next they were gonna get, and it's gonna sell mastery points for us. They're gonna sell mounts, like actually the mounts unlocks, like the raptor or the bunny, that they could sell currencies, map conclusions, vistas, achievements, anything of this. And that completely makes me not care about anything in the game, honestly. Before, I thought these were part of Guild Wars Supercussion that I really care about, and the game cared about me unlocking them. And now I'm not so sure. This will not make me quit the game, but this definitely makes me consider how I approach it, as I have now zero faith that these things are untouchable and unchangeable. This is, in my opinion, the beginning of a slippery slope that could end with everything in the game that I hold dear as irrelevant. As I didn't use this video, and I'll say it again, Guild Wars 2 is my home. It's not MMO. It's the thing. It's the MMO I care about. It's where I live, where my characters matter, where everything that I do in it matters. It's not a race simulator. It's not a combat simulator. It's an MMO. It's a world. And this makes me not care about this world. AreaNet can indeed reverse this. They can change it. They have done it in the past with things like mount skin unlocks, acknowledging that their bad business practices were not good and making up for them. I do want them to do this. I don't want them to keep this in the game. And if you agree with me, please say so. Not maybe in my channel, but in other places. Talk to people and tell them how this is not good for the game. If you don't, well, I try my best to convince you, and I guess I can't really do anything more. This is the last video I will do about this topic, and I might talk about it tomorrow with Delta and the Copecast, and if you want to go check it and, debate on stream, but that's it. If you think I'm doing this for cloud drama, you can think that, but I don't really care. But the reason why I talk about this is because I really care about the game. And I think this is the best thing for the game, to delete this pay-to-win stuff. If you don't agree, that's good enough. That's fine enough. But that's what I believe. That's what I think. Subscribe to the channel. Comment down below. Why do you think I'm wrong? See you soon. Love you. Bye-bye.